What's up, YouTube? So before we get into this video, on First Take, they're talking about how LeBron James might be regretting coming to Los Angeles and playing with the Lakers. So just a little backstory. Yesterday they got beat 136 to 94. That's a 42-point deficit. That's the largest point deficit that LeBron James has won while he was a starter, while he played in the game. Now that's huge. So what it is, he's pretty much basically crying about not having the pieces around him, not having the players around him he needs to make a move. So I'm wondering, whatever happened to LeBron James supposedly being the GOAT? If you're the GOAT, you make your team better around you. You make the players around you better. You step it up. You get it done. You get it taken care of. You don't get beat by 42 goddamn points. Kobe wouldn't let that happen. MJ wouldn't let that happen. I thought he was supposed to be the GOAT, that he can do whatever he want to do and just dominate. What happened a couple years ago, I think in the finals against Golden State, where LeBron James gave Golden State a good run for the money. And all his players were hurt. I think Kevin Love and I think J.R. Smith or Kyrie or somebody was hurt. What happened to that? What happened to last year in the playoffs where J.R. messed up and ran the clock out and LeBron put up like 70 goddamn points? What happened to him being able to take over like that? So I just don't understand, what he's pouting about. And everybody knows it's a rebuilding year. This hadn't even been a full year yet. The Lakers are rebuilding. It's going to take time. So let's see what Stephen A. Smith has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got a problem in Los Angeles, and it's with the Los Angeles Lakers. Make no mistake about it. When LeBron was in Miami, Pat Riley got him the pieces that he needed. When LeBron James was in Cleveland, David Griffin got him the pieces that he needed. LeBron James is in L.A. right now, and Magic Johnson is going to have a very difficult time. We know, or we believe, that eventually Anthony Davis is going to be there. I suspected that the Pelicans were not going to cooperate. I still believe that, Max.
Of course the Pelicans are not going to cooperate with the Lakers. They don't have to. They have what everybody wants. Everybody else wants Anthony Davis, the number one center. Everybody wants him. So they have all the chips of what they can do. And what are the Lakers really offering? They're offering trash. They're offering to clear out that whole locker room, get all those guys out of there, and trade them to the Pelicans, and they'll get a couple first-round picks. And the Pelicans still say no. They still didn't answer the phone. So they have all the bargain chips. They can do what they want. So, this whole thing about, they're not playing with the Lakers and they're playing games and all that. They can do that.
A day to go, I understand it, but I don't believe that Anthony Davis is going to end up with the Los Angeles Lakers before tomorrow's NBA trading deadline expires. What does that do? That now transitions you to the summertime. So what do we have? We have a Knicks squad with cap space for 2 max players and rumors of Kyrie and Kevin Durant. We've got the ball.
So let's touch on that New York trade possibility. So the New York Knicks are trash right now. I think they're the lowest in the division, last time I checked. So if in a perfect world, if they were to pick up Kevin Durant, if they were to pick up Kyrie Irving, and just think if they have a number 1 pick, who's going to go number 1 most likely? Zion Williamson from out of Duke. Can you imagine that for New York? Talk about having a solid base to rebuild. If they had Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Zion Williamson out there, they can make an easy push to run the East. An easy push. But that's just in a perfect world. So let's continue on with what else Stephen A. has to say.
Boston Celtics, who are always a threat because of the options that Danny Ainge has available to him. We have the Brooklyn Nets, who we can't ignore, who's got some young players. They're a 500 ball club. They're planning on having a space for 2 max players. We have the Los Angeles Clippers, who, by the way, are better than the Lakers at this particular juncture. Obviously, LeBron James being hurt for 17 games has everything to do with that. Jalen Rose talking about me on Get Up this morning, but left out LeBron James missing 17 games. But that's a story for another day. Here's the point. If you're the Clippers, what are you doing? You've got the Lakers going after chasing one player. You have the Clippers creating cap space and building a young squad led by Jerry West, like you said, along with Frank and Doc Rivers and all of those boys, to build a team. So when you look at it from that perspective, and you look at guys with the personalities of a Kevin Durant, the personalities of a Kawhi Leonard, the personalities of an Anthony Davis, who wouldn't mind at all being in LA for the Clippers as opposed to the Lakers?
So another reason why they'd rather probably go to the Clippers versus the Lakers is, like I said before in other videos, didn't Kawhi want to come to the Lakers originally, but didn't want to do it because they didn't want to do it. He didn't want to deal with LeBron. Wasn't Paul George supposedly supposed to be coming to the Lakers a few months ago? Wasn't Kawhi possibly talking about maybe going to the Lakers? I mean, Kyrie possibly talking about going to the Lakers? But nobody wants to play with LeBron because nobody wants to deal with the LeBron garbage. Kyrie left Cleveland to get away from LeBron because of his garbage. When they're winning, it's all praise LeBron. You see, LeBron's the GOAT. He can do whatever he needs without any players around him. That's how good he is. He's the GOAT. But when they start losing, oh, well, LeBron needs help. He starts pointing fingers and, being passive aggressive and throwing people under the bus during interviews and all types of stuff. So which one is it? A lot of players don't want to play with LeBron because they don't want to deal with that type of garbage. As a matter of fact, didn't Kevin Durant a couple weeks ago say something about, playing with LeBron's tough? There's a lot of baggage that comes with LeBron. And also, I bet you, if they were winning right now, there'd be no problem. He'd have no problem with the players around him. It'd be all praise LeBron. He's the GOAT. He can do it with nobody around him in LA. But since they're losing now, it's time to start pointing those fingers, isn't LeBron? Oh, I need some people around me. Things just aren't working out. And nobody wants to deal with that. But I bet you if they were winning, he'd have no problem with those players. None whatsoever. So let's continue on.
You are LeBron and Magic. You cannot end up empty-handed, even though it's plausible that you might. Because remember, when Anthony Davis comes out assuming that Rich Paul and Clutch Sports were telling the truth and will give them the benefit of the doubt, the Clippers were one of the teams on the list that Anthony Davis would re-up with long-term. So again, the objective doesn't appear to be to get to the Lakers. It appears to be to get to LA. And if the Clippers are in a position to pull it off, and everything tells us they are in terms of young talent, picks, and now cap space, it is plausible that the Lakers could end up empty-handed. And we know this about these Lakers. They ain't winning no championship as presently constructed.
So let's touch on what the present state of the Lakers and not winning a championship. Obviously, they're not going to win a championship because they're rebuilding. All parties knew that going in. LeBron knew we're going to have to rebuild. You come here, sign for 4 years, rebuilding. Magic knows that we have to rebuild. We just got LeBron James, so we're going to have to rebuild, give it some years. The fans know in LA, we're rebuilding. We got LeBron. We're just going to build up off of him. But I say again, I thought LeBron was supposed to be the GOAT. Being a GOAT means you're better than Michael Jordan, you're better than Wilt Chamberlain, you're better than Bill Russell, you're better than Larry Bird. You're better than Magic Johnson. You're supposed to be better than all these people. You shouldn't need or be crying about the people around you. You should be able to take games over and make everybody better than you. There should be no problem. But no, that's not what we get. That's not what we get. Let's carry on and see what else more they have to say.
I don't believe that LeBron James, despite the fact that he's got his 3 championships, his 9 NBA Finals appearances, universally recognized the greatest player in the world, the biggest sports iconic figure, blah, blah, blah. LeBron James, as he articulated months ago, declared, you know what? Oh, yeah, you don't want to be around me when my patience wears thin, because it can.
That's part of the reason. LeBron's mad. LeBron's not having a good time. Let's everybody walk on eggshells because he's supposed to be the GOAT. That's part of the reason why nobody wants to work with him. Who cares if LeBron's mad? He's not a god. And I tell you what, another thing I like to add in there, what happened with Kobe? What happened when Shaq left? Kobe was determined to prove that he didn't need anybody to win. He didn't need Shaq to win. What did Kobe do? He won 2 more rings after Shaq left. And can anybody really remember the players that were around him other than Paul Gasol? They were all scrubs. They were all scrubs except for Paul Gasol. And Kobe won 2 rings without Shaq after that. So you trying to tell me that the LeBron can't work with scrubs? He can't even make the playoffs? I know he was hurt. He's hurt. But, you can't work with the scrubs? Kobe got it done twice with no problem. But here he can't do it? He had better not come to LA and not win a championship. Any big stars, any big-time players that have started with the Lakers or finished up with the Lakers all won a championship. They all won. And none of them bitched. So LeBron's got a handful. He's got his hands full. This is what happens when you go to LA. So let's carry on and see what more they have to say.
Well, that will definitely rake his nerves.
Let me explain what's going on here. I don't think he regrets going to the Lakers.
I didn't say he does. I said
right.
he could.
I think this is what's going on here. I disagree that Cleveland got him what he needed. The reason he selected Cleveland, when LeBron went to Cleveland, the reason he selected Cleveland is because they already had Kyrie Irving, and they were going to select first in that draft, and they drafted Wiggins, who he realized could fetch them Kevin Love. So before he even made that decision, he knew he was going to be playing with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. That's not really getting him what he needs. It's already having what he needs, give or take.
I mean, Griffin had to get on the phone and talk with Minnesota to pull it off.
But my,
that's all I'm saying.
A 10-year-old could have done that.
No.
I'll give you Wiggins for Kevin Love. How hard is that?
You need to deal with some NBA executives a bit more because they can be a pain in the butt.
I understand what you mean, but in this case, I disagree. I think it was pretty straightforward. LeBron looked into Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love. I'll have that before he even got there. They didn't really get him anything he needed after that to put him over the top. He never won he only wanted that one championship, and when Golden State got better, they were unable to get better. So I think what's happening in LA is this. Really, when you look at it, they don't have Kyrie or Kevin Love, and the reason is the Lakers had bad drafts when they drafted at the top of the draft.
So, Max, we already know that they have bad picks. They don't have any superstars. They have good starters at best. Like what Max said to say, they have good starters at best. Everybody already knows that. We know they're in a rebuilding process. It's going to take a while. It hadn't even been a full year that LeBron's been here yet. And people are already bitching and crying about it. We already know we have to rebuild. We already know that they haven't had good drafts. We're working forward here. Magic is working forward here. He already secured LeBron. It hasn't even been a full year. So you got to give it some time and stop repeating, but they don't have this, they don't have that. We know that. They're trying to rebuild on that. That's where they're headhunting for Anthony Davis. Let's carry on.
There's no other way to say it. In the era of one and dones, you wind up with D'Angelo Russell, number 2 overall, who's finally an all-star, but not the centerpiece of a team, really. Lonzo Ball, right, when you could have had De'Aaron Fox or Jason Tatum. Mm-hmm. And then Brandon Ingram, when you could have had, let's say, Kristaps Porzingis, right?
Yeah.
Those situations, or was that D'Angelo Russell draft where you could have had Kristaps?
I think it is the Russell draft.
Yeah, yes. The point is, when you continually miss at the top of the draft, you don't have what you need either to develop along with LeBron or as trade value to get some.
Again, we already know that, Max. What the Lakers need to do and Magic needs to do is get together with Golden State's recruiting department, their scouting department, because they landed some great ones, some Hall of Famers, and Curry, Draymond, which he may not be a Hall of Famer, and Klay Thompson. Talk about excellent recruiting, excellent scouting. But carry on.
Thing for him to play with. Now, I understand it's a little unfair to Lonzo and Ingram because in this era of one and dones, they're so young still. They may turn out to be good, but not on the timeline that LeBron needs. They're not Jason Tatum good or De'Aaron Fox good even.
So we already know that they're not going to be as good as we thought, and it's going to take time for them to rebuild. But LeBron chose to come to LA. He chose to come to LA. He could have gone to Houston. He could have been with the Rockets and be an immediate contender. I think he even could have gone to OKC and be an immediate contender. He could have even gone to the Spurs, I heard. But he doesn't really want to do that because the system LeBron plays in is the LeBron James system. And Popovich will shut that down for the Spurs. He would not even have that. Just like what Bill Belichick would have in New England. Popovich is in control. And he would have LeBron's going to play his way, not the other way around. Popovich won't get pushed around like Luke Walton, even though Luke Walton's young and everything that goes along with that. But let's see what more Max has to say.
are their same age, give or take, right? So because they misidentified the premium talent, or at least the guys who could develop quickly enough to be worth something, LeBron's in a situation right now where they may not get their man. Does that mean he regrets playing in LA? Stephen A., it's too early to say. It may be, if they can't get a deal done, that they're better off. That these guys develop into something and they just sign a free agent.
Well, like I said, when Molly asked the question, my words were, it could end up being a regret if nothing gets done now and nothing gets done this summer, and all of those stars that we mentioned end up going elsewhere, particularly if two of them go to the Clippers. That's what I was saying. Number two, in terms of your draft, what you brought out about D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
Kristaps Porzingis at 4th, Devin Booker at 13.
At 13. Now, they've done a great job in the second round, at the end of the first round, Kuzma, guys like that. But not at the premium blue chip talent so far they've missed. If it turns out that Ball and Ingram develop into something and they can't move them, maybe LeBron will be happy in the end.
Last sentence, bottom line. LeBron has no regrets if LeBron doesn't care about winning a championship. That he went to...
So the last comment about what Stephen A. has to say, you better not come to LA and not care about winning. You had better not come to Showtime, to LA, to where there's a culture of winning and not care about getting in the ring. What are you here for? What are you playing for? You don't come to LA to not care about winning. Like I said, if LeBron doesn't win a ring, he will be the only superstar to ever start or finish their career with the Lakers and not win a championship. That's pathetic. You never hear Kobe say, I don't care about winning a championship. I don't care about getting in the ring. You never hear MJ say anything about, well, I don't really care if I don't win. I just want to be in LA and live the LA life, the glamour, the glitz, all that. You had better not come to LA and not care about winning, LeBron. Are you kidding me? Let's see what else more Stephen A. has to say.
LA to enjoy his life and just go about his business. Yeah. If LeBron doesn't care about winning championships, then there are no regrets. Yeah. But if he came there to win a championship,